through cooking burgers. Really happy to announce that Goodness Me has a new line of burgers in-house. They're a nice big burger, 7 ounces. We call them Colossal. Definitely good enough for one per person. Raised without antibiotics, grass-fed, and the ingredients are just beef. They're exactly the kind of burger I like to cook. First thing, just get them out of the package. Really great. They got liner paper in between. I like to spread them out onto a pan or parchment paper because they're all beef. It means I get to add what I want to add. And my burgers, I put on salt and pepper. You might see right beside it, we've also got our Beyond Meat burger. I've got a vegetarian in the house, so we're making sure that we've got something for the vegetarian. Barbecue is ready to go, a little over 400. I go anywhere between 300 and 400. So a little bit hot, but that's okay. Once we get the burgers going, it'll be okay. And I season just before I put the burgers on the grill. I just do, and you might have a spice you love to use in the house. I'm salt and pepper. And I'm salt and pepper both sides. So we've got our sea salt going on. I use a fine sea salt. Kosher salt's really good too, because you can see it where it lands. The Beyond Burgers already have their own seasoning, so I'm not going to do too much to them. And then a nice fresh cracked pepper. Ground pepper is just fine. And then I'll turn them over and do the same thing to the other side. It's number one rule in burgers and sandwiches is both sides. If you're putting a sauce on your burger, put it on both sides of the bun. If you're putting a sauce on your sandwich, both sides of the bun. In this case, salt and pepper on both sides. Okay, so we're all seasoned up, ready to go. Barbecue is nice and hot, not too hot. I have a charcoal barbecue, but it's the same with briquettes. It's the same with propane barbecue. Make sure your barbecue is to temp. Don't be heating it when you're putting things on, because there's a lot of extra heat while it's heating. Once it's in, I've already given it a good scrape on the grill. On go the burgers. And I have a vegetarian side and I have a meat side. So on go the meat ones, and I quite like this package because I just flip on the veggie guys. They're on. Gonna close the lid. Gonna flip fairly frequently, 3 to 4 minutes. So before I get my burgers on the grill, because they go really quickly, 4 minutes aside, 3 minutes aside, I don't really have time to put things together. I put this together half an hour, 45 minutes ago. Sliced my tomatoes, sliced my onions, sliced my burger buns. I've washed and then wrung out the lettuce so it's not too dry. When I put the lettuce on the bun, I actually really advise don't cut off the bottom, just fold it in half. It's awesome. It really is awesome. So sauce is ready, and I've got two sets of tongs, one for vegetarians and one for meatitarians, so that people can feel comfortable with their food. Right before the burgers are done, we're gonna toast up the buns and we're gonna drop the cheeses onto the burgers. So we're about 3 or 4 minutes in. Not a lot of action on top, that's for sure, but I like to flip early and often. It keeps the juice inside. The Beyond guys don't need to flip as often because there's not as much stuff that's going to come out of them. So I'm going to let them do their thing, but I'm going to flip the burgers 3, 4, 5 times. Burgers are a cooking. Okay, so we're flipping again. I've actually flipped a couple of times now. This will be the 3rd flip. Burgers are thick enough that they'll hold together. You can see there's some good color coming onto them. Hot on one side. I'm not sure if you can see through the smoke, but hot on one side. So the next time I'm going to switch those guys around. And then it's time to flip over the vegetarian burgers. Different utensils. Let's respect the vegetarians. And over they go. So, I use lump charcoal, there's briquette charcoal, there's propane, there's butane that you get from your house. The big difference is with gas, with propane and butane, you can control the gas. With lump charcoal or briquette, really the fuel is the air that goes into it. So I will very often cook with the lid down with lump charcoal or briquette to control the energy. On a propane or a regular house, like plugged into your house barbecue, you can cook with the lid up because you can really adjust the fuel. And now it's time to flip. Smoky. So how do you know when your burgers are done? Honestly, unless I've cooked the same burger over and over the same way on my barbecue, I really do have to check. So I'm gonna give it a quick poke. I'm gonna look inside of it. I'm gonna look at the meat. I've got a little bit of juicy juice coming out, and it's a little bit red. So a little bit ways to go. I'm really happy with Food in Canada. I trust our meat to be very safe. So I actually pull my burgers off when they're more medium to medium well than well done. Personal choice. But I think it's time, because what I saw was mostly done. A little bit of melty cheese on top, and then they're ready to eat. So when our burger's done, if you cook the same burger over and over again, you'll know. This is a new product for us. I'm super excited about it. So what I do is I just give it a poke. I got no red juice coming out, so they are good to go. I'm gonna close off my vent here. If I got a propane barbecue, I'll turn it down. But now's the time to put cheese on the burger and buns on the grill. And luckily everybody in my house likes toasted buns, so they all go on. Some folks don't, and that is absolutely cool. And remember, when you put your cheese on, it doesn't have to melt all the way. It will, just the heat from the burger will melt the cheese as far as it needs to go. And of course I cooked up a little bit of bacon for those of us, which is everybody who eats meat, for the bacon. And I do have vegetarian cheese. I put Havarti on that one, but we do have vegetarian cheese. Cheese is not completely melted, but it is gonna melt all the way. The burgers look really big coming out of the package, but they are perfect on the bun once they're cooked.